Who do you have winning the Monday night matchup between the Giants and the Buccaneers?
Obviously, we know that the Giants can be Tom Brady's kryptonite in the Super Bowl, but in terms of the regular season, Tom Brady owns the matchup. So I'm going to lean toward the defending champion Buccaneers. Obviously, they're coming off of 2 losses in their last 3 games. They just got off of a bye. I believe that they are also dealing with some injuries on their side of the football as well. AB still out. Gronkowski's questionable. Vita Vea is not playing. So there are some things that they need to overcome as a unit, but I believe that Tom Brady and that pack will just continue to do what they need to do, and they will be a not bad football team. The Giants have shown life, especially on the defensive side of the ball lately. They have played relatively well. Daniel Jones is doing what he needs to do, and I think that they're also getting Saquon back. I know he's questionable. So they could make it semi-competitive, but with Tampa being a very smothering, run-heavy defensive team, I think that they're going to be able to kind of, limit Saquon Barkley and that weakened offensive line of the Giants. I think that Tampa's going to win this game by maybe 10 or 14 points, just because I think that with the week off and Tom being ticked that they lost 2 games over the last 2-3 weeks, they're definitely going to come at this game and say we need to absolutely mop the floor with them to regain dominance in the NFC. We've been talking about it not only in this episode, but the past couple, that the NFC has been the top out of the 2 conferences, but the high-seeded teams continue to lose. Tampa's been losing. Dallas lost 2 of their last 3. Green Bay just lost again. So we're looking at this like, is the shift in power changing, or can the Bucs reclaim the top seed in the NFC? We'll continue to have to monitor.
I think the Buccaneers win this game, but I don't think it's going to be just a blowout. I think it's actually going to be a competitive game. And it's like you mentioned, it's because the Giants actually have a pretty solid defense. In their last 3 games, they've only given up 16 points to the Raiders, 17 points to, they gave up 20 points to the Chiefs, and then they gave up 3 to the Panthers. So the last 3 games, their defense has been playing pretty stout. It's really the only thing actually keeping them in these games. It's not Daniel Jones that's keeping them in these games. It's the defense. But I just think that the Buccaneers are just head and shoulders better than them. Their offense is more dynamic. And despite how good the Giants defense is, I think it's going to be too much to handle for them. The one thing that I would like to see from Tampa in this game is they need to get off to a fast start. In their last 2 games against the Saints and the Washington football team, they have got off to atrocious starts. And Tom has not been playing particularly well in the last 2 games. He's had 5 turnovers. I think he actually has 6 turnovers in the last 2 games combined. So Tom definitely needs to clean it up. I would like to see them run the football a little bit more effectively with Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. And I think if they get off to that fast start, I think you'll definitely see that 1-2 combo punch with Fournette and Ronald Jones be effective against that Giants defense. Now, granted, Gronk is questionable for this game, so we don't know whether or not that he's going to be playing. I believe AB is out for this game as well. So the Buccaneers are still dealing with injury issues, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball as well. Richard Sherman is not going to be playing in this game. You still have Sean Murphy-Bunting out for a foreseeable amount of time. So the issues that Tampa is dealing with are largely with injuries, but I think that they'll be able to overcome the issues that they've been dealing with as a team the last 2 weeks. I think they get back on track. I think Tom has a really good game. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws 3 touchdowns in this game, probably throws somewhere around maybe like 325 yards passing. But I do think that the Giants keep it close. I think the Giants are going to keep this to a 7-point game, but I think that overall, I think it's just the Bucs are going to be too much for them to handle. I think the Bucs win this one by the score of, I'm going to say 28-21. I think the Giants defense is actually going to hold Tampa under 30 points. And even with that said, I still think Tampa is one of the better teams in the NFC, but they need to get back on track for me to keep that opinion moving forward.